Hi guys, and welcome to another live writing sprint. If you're watching this on the replay, welcome still. A lot of people do that. They watch them on the replays and then they write along with us. The writing sprints are designed to have really short sprints of writing, literally, just like in track, so that you're not thinking about it too much and you're just going. In between, I answer writing questions and I throw up a writing prompt just in case you need an idea to get you started today. And if you have questions about your plot, about your characters, about whatever's going on, absolutely share it in the comments and we'll answer it right here live on the writing sprint, which is good because you get an opportunity to pick my brain right here, which you don't normally get. Robert's already here, welcome. And all of you that are watching on Facebook or on YouTube. And I think in the coming weeks, I might try to do a live on TikTok at the same time. I'm just going to figure out all of the cameras, all of that at one place. I'm not sure I've got that. As we all know, I'm not very technologically literate, so we'll see if I can actually make that happen. And so what we do is we write for 10 or 15 minutes. I think we'll start with a couple of 15-minute ones and see how that goes. Hey, Silver Ollie, nice to see you. And then go to the shorter ones because I personally find it harder to write longer after I've started out shorter. Like I would rather reduce it than increase it, if that makes sense. In case you didn't already see it, this week's video was all about, I had a short about doubting myself because I do that all the time. So if you watch the shorts, there's one up there about that. And then I also have a video on plot mistakes that you make, 5 different types of plot mistakes that people tend to make, especially early in the book. Because I did a poll on the community page of the YouTube channel to ask what kind of video everybody wanted to see next. So if there's something you really want to see, be sure to pop over there and throw something in the comments and I'll see it. And a lot of people said they wanted to see how do you get from the first chapter to the second chapter. And I get it. For a long time, I had a lot of first chapters, sometimes first 3 chapters, and then the book went nowhere because I didn't really figure out a lot of these 5 things that I talk about in this video. Or I was stuck for other reasons, and I had dealt with a lot of self-doubt, like I said in that short, and I'll throw that link in there as well, because it happens, you know, it's a tough industry if you aren't like made of steel, and most of us are not. So here's the doubting myself video. And I used to sit beside people in writers' conferences where you could pitch to an editor, and I once sat beside a lady that did 13 partials, which is the first 3 chapters. That's all she had, was 13 partials. She did not have a completed book. And the editor that was leading the pitch session said, basically, go home and write a whole book because you will learn more from writing a whole book than anything else that I could teach you. Literally getting from beginning to end will teach you so much because you've actually completed the activity. It's just like, you know, learning to drive. You can spin around in the driveway all you want, but actually getting out on the roads and going from A to B makes a big difference in your driver education or anything else you're learning. So I want to just say hi to anybody else who's joining us late. We've got people from all over the world, which is always pretty cool. And let's get right into our first sprint. I've got to get my, what do you call it? Timer up because I'm definitely going to need that for you guys so we don't wait too long on this. Okay, so let's get our first sprint going and we'll do 15 minutes. I play a little bit of music. You can always mute your computer if you don't want to hear it. And we'll be back in 15 minutes. Happy writing. That 15 minutes always goes so fast, which of course is the point of the whole sprint. And hi, Hillary. Nice to see you here. Robert, first book down for the last couple of edits. That's awesome. Yes, it is transformational to write that full book. And, you know, I've published 85, actually more than 85. I just stick with the number 85 because it sounds good. You know, when you start saying 86, 87, I don't know, 85 sounds good. Um, but now that I'm still writing books and finishing them, every single time I get to the end, I feel like I've learned something new about writing and that it's really made me a stronger, better writer with each book, because that's my goal every time, is to be better at my job and to really bring a better experience to the reader. And Hillary, 8 more chapters on the first pass. Yes, I think that's great. It is a lot of highs and lows. There are a lot of moments when you're like, this book is the worst book in the world. And if you guys check out my doubt video, you'll see any of the ones where I talk about self-doubt or insecurity. I think that insecurity is a very common thing with writers, because I think it's part of what we try to figure out on the page with our characters. And so many of us, when we're doing things that aren't really working for the book or aren't really the best thing for the book, and then somebody tells us, you could be stronger here, you could be better here, it's really disheartening. I know that in the masterminds, which I don't think any of the mastermind people are in today's writing sprint, but the mastermind people, we just had our meeting last night, and for several of them, I kind of went over their pages and was like, this isn't really working, this isn't really working, the character's not coming across the way that you think they should, or you need more conflict. And I know because I have received those letters and that feedback from my critique partner, I know how hard that is. But it can teach you so much, especially the revision process, as I'm sure Hillary and Robert are finding. When you go back and you start editing, you learn so much more in the revision process about how to really pull it together. I liken it all the time to cooking. Like when I first learned how to cook, I just did the basics. But now that I know how food works, I know how the science of cooking works, I can, you know, tweak a recipe or change it or just make something out of thin air because I know how it all goes together. And it's pretty much the same when you learn to write a book and you really, really learn all of those techniques. Don't beat yourself up if your first one isn't as strong as your fifth one, or if you struggle a lot with that first one, or even the first five. Remember, it took me 10 books in 8 years before I sold my first one, because you're learning a brand new skill. And a lot of people, I think, figure that they're natural storytellers and wow, I should know how this goes. That's not really how it works out. You're really truly learning how to tell a compelling story, particularly in a world where people want those stories to move like this. And that requires a lot of skills to learn and a lot of adapting your process to fit the world that's going to be reading it. So it's a little different than telling a story. Sorry, it's been a long week. But telling a story just orally to somebody. And nice, good job, Silver Ollie. Fourth book and 191 words, and Robert 298. You guys are great. I'm not actually working on my book for these first couple of sprints. My editor needs my dedication and my dear reader letter and stuff like that for the book that I just turned in that comes out. I want to say January, maybe. I forget when it comes out. And so I've got to get those in before 5 o'clock. So I wrote half of it while we were doing our first sprint, and I'll get the rest out in the next sprint. Speaking of which, I think it's time to go to another sprint. So if you're here, drop a comment in there, or if you have a writing question, drop a comment in there, and we'll talk about it when we come back from this next writing sprint. So I'll see you in 15 minutes. Another 15 minutes just goes by. Yeah. Oh, hi, Mary. Nice to see you here. It took a minute because your handle was confusing to me for a second. Nice to see you here. And Mary's also one of the masterminds, so nice to see you in the group. I did finish my Dear Reader letter, got it off to my editor, finished something else that I needed to get off before 5. 20 minutes left in my day before I have to get all this stuff off. And now I finally get to work on my book, so I'm super excited. That's the problem with running these during my work week. And plus, I traveled a lot. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but I was in Vegas last week. That's why we had the writing sprint on Thursday instead of Friday. Great job, Silverali, on 201 words. And it was amazing. Not the gambling part, because I'm not much of a gambler, and I lost money anyways. I brought like a couple $100 and lost most of it. But the Stranger Things store, I don't know if you guys are into Stranger Things, but the store basically recreated the settings from the show, and it was so stinking cool. I spent a ridiculous amount of money on things from there. And then there was also a Reese's store, so you will see Reese's shirts in a lot of my videos coming up because I really, really, really love Reese's. So yeah, it was fun, and I can't wait to go back. And then I get another couple of trips coming up to New York City and to Denver and stuff. So that it won't change the writing sprint schedule, but expect to see some videos from other places as the weeks go by. Because I've got to remember to be more, taking more pictures and videos and stuff like that. The New York one has me super excited because that means I get to run in Central Park as long as the weather's not too cold for this wimpy, now living in Florida girl. And I love, love, love running in Central Park. It's so pretty. So great job. You guys are just killing it here with working on your books. And I'm super excited about that for you all. I did mean to mention for anybody that's new here that you are welcome to join the free community that we have, the Circle community, because all the resources are there. We have all kinds of handouts. And I'm doing a workshop for the Women in Publishing conference that starts on March 6th. And it's about 6 strategies for taking your book to the next level. So if you're not currently registered for that, let me know, drop me a message there and I'll send you the link. I think it has a discount code in the link that I have so that you can sign up for it. It's like a 3-day online conference and you get access to all of the videos and stuff, so you don't have to watch it live. And it looks like a really great lineup. Most of what the Women in Publishing Conference is about the business of writing, like finding a good cover designer and a good formatter and how to make Amazon work for you so you make real money on your books. I'm one of the very few craft topics on there. So for those of you who are wondering about how to make a business out of this, I'll drop the link in there on our next sprint. And Robert, that's hilarious. Think you fell asleep for a minute or two. That happens to me a lot of times. And my husband, who also works from home, he works in the living room because we only have one office and it's all mine. He'll say that sometimes because he does IT stuff, which to me is insanely boring. He says sometimes he'll just nod off for a minute or two at his computer because it's a boring job, in my opinion. I'm sure he does something really exciting and cool for him. So that's awesome, you guys. I'm so excited that you got so many words, even with the mini micro nap in there. The fastest nap I've ever taken was literally 2 minutes when I had 7 minutes between sessions at a conference. And I took the elevator up to my room. I slept for 2 minutes, took the elevator back down and got to the other thing, all within 7 minutes. I was pretty proud of myself for that. and you can imagine how tired I was if I could do all that and fall asleep for 2 minutes straight. So anyways, let's try another one. Let's do, because it's 4:41, let's do 10 minutes this time. And we'll get some words done. Yes. I love little small naps. Robert, I don't like long naps because then I feel like more lethargic. So I'm big on like a 5 or a 10-minute nap. And my husband's just amazed that I can sleep that short a period of time and then be back up and like I've had 6 cups of coffee. So anyways, let's do 10 minutes and I will find that link to the Women in Publishing Conference and drop it in the chat for you guys. And we'll come back and talk writing again. There we go, 10 minutes fast, super fast. I finally got to work on my book. I don't know what I did. Let me go back and see what I did for words. Um, Only 176 because I was kind of struggling with what to write about. So it's really hard sometimes for me to go from what I'm doing at work to come and pop into the book all of a sudden, especially if I haven't been thinking about it much in between. I've been reading a lot of nonfiction, preparing for a meeting I've got coming up in March. So great job, Silver Ollie. You're just knocking it out of the park. And hi, Jack. Nice to see you here. Thank you for watching and thank you for popping in. I hope you do come back sometime. Sometimes it's the end of a long week. And I clearly have needed a little bit more caffeine this afternoon. That vanilla chai just isn't cutting it. I have, by the way, if you've never tried the vanilla caramel, no, it's vanilla something, chai latte things from Tazo Teas, they're very good. They're supposed to be like a dessert tea, but they have like a caffeine level of 2, so they're, take it from me, not good to have in the evening because it'll keep you up half the night. But yes, that's what I usually have in the afternoon. And if you watch the newest video, you'll see me drinking a cup of that because I'm now addicted to it after lunch. It's my dessert after lunch and my little pick-me-up for the afternoon. But this week has been a long one and I was a little bit sick. So I made like some ramen soup, which you can see on my, if you're friends with me on Facebook, I put it on there. I haven't been posting as much personal stuff in other places, but I definitely need to try to do more of that. It's hard to keep up with all of the videos. I watch some of these people on TikTok and I'm like, when do you people sleep? Because there's a lot on there. Great job, Robert, with 184, especially with given that you're tired as well. So I totally sympathize. And if it's cold and dreary where you are, which it's not right now, but it's going to be here in Florida even in like an hour or two, it's also hard to kind of keep your motivation up for writing and doing whatever you have to do. So I get it. Totally get it. I'm very anxious for spring to actually hit here, or actually for spring break to end, so all the spring breakers go home and the snowbirds go home, and then we get to enjoy spring in Florida. All right, so we have time to do one more 10-minute sprint. And you know what? I never put up the writing prompt, did I? Oh my gosh, there are days when I don't think I can I do a very good job here. So if you've been waiting for 45 minutes for me to put up a writing prompt, there it is. So this is the writing prompt, the best or worst birthday my character ever had. Because I think that those are pretty indicative of what our childhoods are like, right? If your character had a birthday where nobody showed up, that's really, really sad. And it's traumatic. When we talk about the deep emotional wounds that I talk about a lot of times in my videos, that can be a traumatic moment. Or they can have had this like amazing birthday party where they got a pony and then everything else pales in comparison. So if you're struggling for something to write about or just want something fun, or if you're stuck in your plot, sometimes it helps to write these side things and then just kind of get a different view of your character. You don't have to write a lot, just 2 or 3 paragraphs, and it kind of can restart your mind and give you another insight into your character that you didn't already have. So feel free to try that on the 10-minute sprint, and we will go back to writing again. All right, see you guys in 10 minutes. Okay, that's our last 10 minutes. And I didn't get that far, just a couple hundred words, because I'm kind of stuck on my plot. And that's what comes from not working on the book much during the week. If I can get back to kind of thinking about it at night and creating some notes, it will really help me to write more on the weeks in between. But I have been working on lots of other people's books and my deadline books. So it's not like I'm not working at all during the week, just on other things. So great job, Robert and Silverali. Oh, Robert was the last time. And great job, Jack, on using the writing prompt. That's awesome. I hope you learned something new about your character, something that you can use in the book itself. Some type of maybe a trauma, because we all love traumas for our characters, because it makes them react in a certain way. If you have a trauma where you've been abandoned, or I don't know, or some kind of like mother was murdered at your birthday party or something, then that will really affect how your character reacts as an adult to things. And yay, great job, Hillary, on finishing the 2 chapters you were working on. That is awesome. You guys are just killing it this Friday. So I'm very excited for you all. We have these, again, every Friday from 4 o'clock Eastern, and we run about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, and do 4 or 5 sprints. It just depends on kind of what kind of time I have and all of that kind of stuff, and also how tired I am from the end of the week. So you can always watch the replays if you haven't been able to participate before, and you can see all of my technological non-finesse, because I'm not that good at that. I do try the best though. And if you want to vote in the poll on the community page on my YouTube channel, go right ahead. Or if you have another idea for something that you need more information about as a writer, please feel free to drop a comment or let me know. And Robert, I love that you are taking a nap in the middle and still getting out 250 words. That is awesome. That is like what I aspire to do. But if I fell asleep, you guys would all know. The whole world would know, because it would be on video. So I'm pretty proud of you for that. That's pretty awesome. So if you ever have a topic that you want to see, just either drop me an email, which I'm going to drop my email address in here, or drop a comment on my Writing Compelling Fiction YouTube page. I can't type and talk at the same time. And I'll be happy to answer it on a video in the future, because I can't know what you guys need to learn about if I don't know what you're struggling with. So I'm here to help you write a better book and to make the book you have right now the best it can possibly be. And this week, go easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself if you don't make your word count, or you don't get your pages done, or you feel like your scene is flat. It happens. We all struggle with it. It's not just you. So go easy on yourself. Tomorrow's a new day and you can start again, and maybe it'll go better. Maybe it won't, and it's still okay. And just keep going easy on yourself. So thank you for writing with me. I appreciated it, and I love having you guys here, and I will see you next Friday. So have a great writing week, you guys.